Roger, tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're going to be busy for a minute.
Yeah, that old footage is awesome. History made. 50 years ago this week, Apollo 11 touched down on the surface of the moon. It lifted off June 16th, 1969. 50 years ago today.
And Carolyn Long joins us now to introduce us to the local man who helped to make that mission get off the ground.
That's right, Brad and Ellen. Now, we all know Kansas City native Walter Cronkite brought us that historic news on CBS. But what many don't know is that there was another local connection, a young engineer from KC who was inspired by, of all things, Kansas City barbecue.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal.
A half-century ago, millions around the world were glued to their television sets watching as 3 American astronauts took off on what is considered one of the greatest achievements in space travel history.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Kansas City native and KU grad Dr. Harold Finch watched too from his parents' living room.
On a black and white Motorola like most everyone else.
With the rabbit ears?
Yeah.
But while everyone held their collective breaths watching one of mankind's greatest accomplishments, Dr. Finch held his breath a whole lot longer.
I had some sleepless nights worrying a little bit about it.
You see, as a young 24-year-old thermodynamics engineer, Dr. Finch was working at Midwest Research Institute in Kansas City when he heard NASA needed help with overheating problems.
I told my boss I think I could help them, and he just laughed at me.
So every night, every weekend, Dr. Finch struggled with the physics and the math, but it wasn't until he took a break, went out to lunch for some barbecue on the plaza, that the answer came to him.
And I saw this chicken and a pig rotating, and I said, wow, that's it.
There was born what he called his scientific barbecue roll.
The idea was to just take the spacecraft and rotate it slowly like a chicken on a barbecue.
He sent the idea off to NASA.
And they liked it a lot better than my boss.
Dr. Finch was hired on as the director of the Apollo heating program. Thankfully, his idea worked flawlessly on this launch and was used on every one of the 9 missions to the moon.
Tranquility base here. The Eagle has landed.
Thank goodness it worked.
38-year-old man.
Thank goodness. Dr. Finch, now 86. He still lives here with his wife of 64 years. And even with his time working with NASA, he always lived here in KC, just kind of commuted back and forth on occasion to Houston or Washington.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. He's
he
also
something?
one of the founders of Johnson County Community College.
I mean, he's done it all.
He's an amazing guy. And does he ever want to go to the moon or be a part of the program like that?
He says he thinks that's going to happen in our lifetime. We're going to see tourists heading to space anyway.
Wow.
And he says, I've often dreamed, literally dreamed of being on the moon. He'd love to.
Oh, that's amazing. And at 24, that's what we were saying. It's just
24.
unbelievable.
This young
24.
kid says, I can help.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
That's incredible.
And he did.
Yeah, great
Thanks,
story,
Carolyn.
Carolyn. Thank you.